connect in cell 1. All right, can you see that?
Yep. Okay. So you should have a list in there, and all I see is follow-up calls. Do you have a list on your computer that you were going to load and dial?
No, Jerry was going to do that. That was the whole... Jerry was providing the data, remember? He said he had a list he was going to put in the system for me.
Yeah.
Are we live, by the way? Is anyone watching? I hope they're not, because this is what happens behind the scenes in any well-organized sales function.
Yeah. Let me
Total chaos. And yet this is how the wheels of capitalism works. Yeah. No, I don't know if we're live or not. I have no idea. We shall see. This is what happens behind. Oh, I heard myself then.
Yeah, we're sorry. I've just muted. I'm watching the channel, so you are live. Yes, this has been broadcast.
Right. Well, better mind my P's and Q's.
So Benjamin, while we are live, I think we are live because I can see it on YouTube. Why don't you introduce yourself? Let's give you a bit of your backstory, who you are. And,
a bit of background. Yeah, sure. So, I'm known as the UK's most hated sales trainer. And I often get asked why. People seem to think there's some sort of international body that measures these things. There isn't. I made it up. And I made it up because... Well, I was inspired by LinkedIn, because if you go on LinkedIn, what does everybody who claims to be good at something put in their description? It's always an expert, a leader, a guru, a professional, a best-selling. And I realized all people want to do is be loved and adored, which means no one wants to be hated. I thought, fine, I'll take that, because if no one wants to be hated, it means I'm the only person in the space. And only an idiot will come along and say, no, actually, I'm more hated. So
apart from being the most hated sales trainer in the UK, what do you actually do? I mean, who is your target audience?
Not a lot, actually, because I'm a salesman, so I don't do a hell of a lot, and I admit that. So the purpose of my life is to do less on purpose, but for more. That is the whole purpose. That is my existence. So I teach people how to sell, and it's not really selling. I teach people how to communicate, because that's all selling is. It's a communication skill. A lawyer is a communicator.
Ben, just to communicate, we've got a list for you, but you've got to load the list. Can you pass screen with me? There's a list in your email.
How do I do that?
I could load it for you
Okay, how do I share screen? Are we still live? Is everyone watching this?
We might be, but being able to load data in the system is interesting. So could you...
Okay, so how do I give you control of my computer to load it in then?
I think it's on advanced sharing settings. There's a button where you can share the screen. String, are you able to share screen control with me?
No, I don't. I can't do that.
I'll walk you through it, Benjamin. If you go to your email, there's an email from Jerry right now that has the lists.
Okay, get out of the way. This not LinkedIn, this bloody drop-down thing for this. Oops, right. Let me just get into it first, because that's constantly in the way, that drop-down bar.
We might be able to extend this match for 10 minutes.
Here we go, Jerry Hill, attachments. Okay, Here we go. Leeds USA or Leeds UK. Should we phone UK or USA? Let's phone UK.
Okay. Do you want to do UK?
Downloading list.
All right. So now I want you to put that on your hard drive and go back into Connect and Cell, and I'm going to show you how to load that and share the screen if you could. Totally fine.
Yeah.
And then we might tag on some minutes here. Thank you for everyone watching. We might put 10 extra minutes so that you have the full time. And if Alex is a hard stop, it's fine. I can commentate. But let's just troubleshoot this.
I'm good.
Okay, so there's right. So
if you share your
screen, so let's go. Yeah, I'm going back to that now. Share screen. Oh, why not? Going to go here. Go here. Go here. There's no connect and cell. Which one is connect and cell? I don't know. Go here. Share screen. Right, perfect. Connect and cell. Here we go. Right. Load list, I guess.
So I want you to say new list.
new list.
And then just name
I'll
it.
just do
Brexit or something.
list.
I don't know.
List, right? That's fine. Description, list,
Yep.
CSV.
No, it's fine.
No,
Yeah.
it's it is a CSV. Yeah.
Just
Next.
click next. Yeah. And then say next. You don't have to touch any of that stuff.
Yeah, don't need to worry about any of that. Choose file.
And you just want the one you just brought in exactly. And now we're gonna map. So scroll down. We're gonna go real slow here. Keep moving to the right. Slowly move
to the right. Over here.
Yep. No. Okay. Okay. See. So go back to the left a little bit. There's the first phone number line. See the drop down above the. See where it says +44. Yep. Get that and put phone 1. We're just gonna feel.
Oh yeah. Gotcha.
Yep. And now go to the right. I want to see if there's duplicative phone numbers. If there's any other phone number information. No.
No. Just.
See what else we can map. Try a website there. Do the pull down there. There might be a website. CRM URL. I think we're good there. Go to the right just slowly. I want to make sure I'm not missing any fields.
Well, we just need the name,
title,
phone number, and job title.
Let's get job title so you know who you're calling. Let's take that one.
Yeah, that's
just put title under status, third from the bottom.
Oh,
yes.
Title. Yeah, got it.
Keep scrolling to the right. Let's go the other way.
Last name, first name. Okay.
So you have the phone, and I just want to make sure.
Yeah, that's all I need.
That's all you need. You should be fine. Okay, so now say next. And all your telephony should be dialed already, right? See, now you see the mappings that there you have the company name, the first name, and then the phone. And now say submit, and it's going to suck that data up.
So submit.
Yep, give it a minute. There.
Done.
That's all you need to do. And give it a second. There we go. So now I want you to click
there we go.
next to on that box.
Yeah.
And I want you to say load lists. Give it a minute and say submit. And theoretically, are you still on the bridge? You've dialed in through your phone and pressed the go?
My phone's still plugged in. Yeah, my phone's still apparently connected.
So all you have to do now is you're going to say go. Now, Alex, as you narrate, really listen for the beep. You're going to hear beep. And when you hear that, if someone's commentating and you don't drop off immediately, this is almost like a weird charade we're playing where we, like you almost have to like pull real fast off because I don't want the caller to hear the commentator and then feel like they're somewhere weird. So it's really important then, Ben, that you're going to see a pop-up on the screen and then you can just say, hey, is this Liza Doolittle or whatever. So let's hit go. If we're ready, let's just test it.
And see what happens.
Yeah. If you hit the green button.
And I don't have to hang up or do anything. The system just.
You're going to disposition after each call. You'll say hang up. You'll give it a disposition. I'll show you how to do it.
It'll give me. Okay, fine. Right. So do I need to keep sharing my screen or?
Let's share your screen for now, and then we'll turn it off.
Fine.
So if you hit go, let's see if we can hear it.
Hit go up here, right? The green one. All right. Let's see what happens.
Now, as you scroll down, you're going to see it moving. That is live agents making cold calls now. I'm not actually sure how the tech works. It's a combination of software and humans, which makes Connect and Sell one of the best, most accurate solutions because you have human routing and dialing. So they're calling multiple numbers in parallel from this list of 400 in the UK. And the minute it connects, you'll hear a beep, and it's going to pop your screen and give the name and title.
Now, bear in mind to the viewer, I have no idea what any of these companies do. Never seen any of this data before. So this is going to be interesting with somebody. What do we do?
They're all VPs of sales, I think. So there will be some people that you can sell training to. Is the good news.
Legal forensic brokers.
So I'm going to let you commentate, Alex, in a minute. I just wanted to make sure the telephony here is working. String, how you doing?
I'm just chilling.
Okay. I'm glad I woke up at the Navy SEAL hour here. I feel like 5 a.m. is like, the night raid. Like I'm going to do a Mission Impossible base jump from.
I did a
So,
4 a.m. I did a 4 a.m. earlier this week for a sales kickoff.
This is like string hours because when you're in Melbourne, you have to get up at 3 in the morning to be on the U.S. time. It's crazy. This should work. If it's not merged, Ben, you may only hear it in your headset. But whatever happens here, just roll with it and take the call. We can.
I will.
figure it
Yeah,
out.
I'll see what happens.
I think we're good.
Yeah. All right. We'll see what happens. Clinical. Can I expand this out so I can? No, I can't. Oh, yes, I can. Yeah. All right. Well, I'll just wait and see what happens.
Not like it was back in the day, Benjamin, when it was yellow pages, touch tone.
Wow.
So Benjamin, what are you looking to do here then? When we were talking about earlier around, it's around helping salespeople to communicate rather than necessarily setting meetings, but the art of setting the meeting or the art of getting the next stage in the call.
Well, the purpose of prospecting is there's these black squares with company names popping up on the screen. I don't know if that means I'm talking to them or not. I don't know.
You'll hear a beep.
So you'll hear a beep, right? Okay.
Yeah, you'll hear a beep.
Fine. British dressage. Horses, eh? That can be interesting. Yeah, so obviously most people don't appreciate what the purpose of a prospecting call is. And so for me, I'm looking for a decision maker that may recognize problems that I can fix. That's all a prospecting call is about. It's not about to sell anything. I'm not there to sell them anything. It is to find someone who thinks maybe there is something we should talk. It's like you phoning your doctor and saying, I've got a sore cough and a runny nose. And he goes, well, look, I don't know what it is yet. It could be this, it could be that. I may have a prescription or it may be nothing. Why don't you come in and see me? By the end of that, we'll know if it's worth moving forwards with a prescription or if it literally is nothing. So that to me is, so the goal isn't to get an appointment with everybody. I don't beg people to meet. I don't want to meet somebody and say, oh, I don't really know. Go on, sir. Just give me 20 minutes. You'll be impressed. I could do that, but I'm going to kiss a lot of frogs just for the sake of getting in front of a human being with a pulse. So I want to be in front of them with a pulse that's got a problem that they acknowledge. And then we'll figure out if it's something I can fix or can't fix. So it's all about the quality. I'd rather have 4 meetings like that a month than 8 or 10. Oh, just I'm in the area. Can I pop in for 15? A lot of people see that as good prospecting. I don't. And that's the one thing we can't make more of in life is time. And salespeople give it away. That's the only thing they give away. They don't value it. And if I'm going to go and see somebody, if I'm going to give up an hour of my life, then it better be for a good reason that we've established on the first call. It's not because I just need to hit a target of meetings. So, yeah, we'll see what happens today, but it doesn't seem like we're having much luck. Nothing seems to be happening.
Not at the moment. So typically, old school or in your way of doing things, and I've seen your YouTube channels and how you do this. How many dials would you typically do per hour or look to be doing per hour?
Well, I think, yeah. So this is so I don't believe you should prospect for hours and hours and hours on end because it's mind-numbing and it's dangerous. So what I work out is how many decision makers do I have to talk to over a year in order to hit my sales figures. So I work backwards. Sales target, say 100K, average order value 10,000. I have a 50% close rate, say at final meeting. So I need 20 final meetings. How many final meetings does it take? How many second meetings before final does it take? So let's say 50% dropout. So I need 40 second meetings. How many first meetings go on to the second bit? Say 80. So I need 80 first meetings. Got it. So how many decision makers am I going to have to talk to get 80 appointments over the next 12 months? Probably around 800. Yeah, I do the 1 in 10. So I need to talk to 800 decision makers this year. Seems a lot, but then I break it down even further. I go, well, actually, over 10 months, 800 is 80 a month. Over a week, that works out at 20 a week. And over a day, well, that's 4 a day, isn't it? Monday to Friday. So if I speak to 4 decision makers every day, Monday to Friday, I should, theoretically, hit my target. And if I don't, it means whatever I'm saying or doing throughout that process is crap. Yeah. So then so my job is to reduce it down to the basic daily minimum behavior. So when I had to prospect consistently to grow my business every day between 8:30 and 10 a.m., that's all I do. As long as I spoke to 4 decision makers, I'm done. I didn't have to get an appointment. I didn't have to get a meeting. All I needed was 4 decision makers, because I knew by the end of the week, having had 20 of those, 2 will say, come and see me. So there's no pressure on me to hit some arbitrary, you've got to get a meeting today. No. I've got to talk to 4 decision makers today. And if I do that every day, I'll be fine. If I get to the end of week 1 and I've had 20 conversations and got no appointments, it probably means that whatever I'm saying or doing isn't very good, so I can fix it. So you don't need to wait a month to find out you're going to not hit target. It takes a week in my world.
Yeah.
So that's how I do it. So today is, yeah.
No, it's kind of back to basics, and I think the way that Connect and Sell works, the tool that you're using, then will be a beat probably every few minutes. And just a reminder, the other sponsors of this: Revenue Garage, Rev Genius.
You just talk.
You just talk.
And Ben, this is Justin Michael. One more thing. Make sure you say this is Benjamin Dennehy on a recorded line. I guess, I mean, you're in UK, so we might not be able to use it anyway, but yeah, it should beep any minute.
Well, we don't have to say that. We don't have to say that in the UK. We're allowed to record calls with one-party consent.
Okay.
Which is us making the... Yeah, so we're fine on that front.
If this does not set, we could switch to the US list if it's better. I don't know, like, it should have already...
I don't mind who I call. Yeah, let's do US, because then I really don't care, because I don't go to America for a meeting.
Hey, Benjamin, can you scroll up?
Yes.
Scroll
Can
up.
I scroll up?
Yes. Scroll up. No, not that list.
Scroll up.
Here, you see the
which list?
I would just leave it. It is working. It's gonna dial.
It's doing its thing. It's just everyone's on holiday in England because of lockdown.
Okay, I'm going. Thanks for that, because apparently you did 40 dials within the last 10 minutes.
Yeah, I would just let it keep dialing, because sometimes if you load lists too often, you just kind of get back to where you start. But if there's nothing, if we don't have any connectivity in the first 5, then we can reload the US list the same way with the mapping. We would see where it says in green, waiting for a live conversation. That would kick over, and you would see it pause. So yeah, if you go back to the live session, it will know the telephony is right.
Let me,
tab 1.
That's tab 1. Yeah.
Yep. So that green bar at the top that says waiting for a live conversation, that'll kick over, and then you'll get a pop-up window. It'll show you it's live.
Yeah.
So it is working. Even if
we'll just
your phone wasn't working, you would know, because that'll turn red and it'll pop. So I'd say we give it a little more time, and if you don't get any connects, we can move to the US list, but everything seems to be working.
Move to the US, that's fine. If it doesn't work today, I don't mind doing this another day. It's absolutely fine, and we can get it sorted. There's always technical problems. It's me. It's not you. It's me. Every time me and technology get together, this always happens.
Murphy's
Law. Don't worry about it. I keep my IT guy paid well, because he goes, how do you do this? I don't know. It just seems to do it to me.
It's all working perfectly. I don't see anything wrong. You're hitting the phone numbers. It's dialing. It should just pop and beep any minute. If you scroll down, you can see exactly what it's doing. You see it's showing you that it's calling those.
I can see it moving and doing its thing. But it's extraordinary. No one's answering.
So Benjamin, have you been in sales?
So if I've been doing sales, well, like everyone, I fell into sales. Nobody wanted this for their life. Yeah, this is what happens when you get an education and don't know what to do with it. Yeah, so so I've been in sales now. My first sales job was recruitment back in 2006. I set a company record. 6 months in, didn't recruit a single person. I was absolutely shite. Yeah. And the irony is I got poached by another company, not a recruitment company. The one thing I was good at when I worked for this recruitment company was I was terrible at recruiting, but I was very good at getting appointments. So they actually ended up changing my role and said, you know what, you suck at recruitment. We're going to pay you just to generate appointments.
Yeah.
All right, so that's how I fell into the world of prospecting. And as a result of doing that well, a company approached me that specialized in exactly doing that, but for advertising agencies. So they were an outsourced, appointment setting service, lead generator. And so I knew nothing about marketing or advertising. It was up in Holborn, right in the centre of London. So I ended up working there for 18 months. But I figured out really quickly that the guy who ran the company, he was billing me out at like 2.5, 3K a month. I had 5 clients and he paid me 25 grand a year. So hang on, he's making about 15K a month off of my... So I thought, well, I'll do this on my own then. So I quit and I just prospected agencies and started working for them direct in their offices, setting up the meetings and appointments. And then from that, I started going on them. And it was never planned. It just happened. And then sales training sort of evolved as I got good at doing it. And people said, could you teach our guys what you do? And da-da-da-da-da.
Okay, Ben.
Nothing.
I've taken a screenshot of what's happening, and my buddy Jerry, who runs Connect and Sell EMEA, has looked at it. And if you weren't logged in properly, the dial threads wouldn't show. So everything is kosher. You just got to keep waiting, keep dialing.
Okay, fine.
It's all good. I've vetted this now with an executive at Connect and Sell. So if you guys just keep chatting, be careful because you're going to hear beep too fast. So get ready to pause. Yeah. Thank you both.
Oh, yeah. I'll be honest. This is the easiest prospecting session I've ever had to do. Actually, this is probably very familiar right now for many an MD. He's probably watching this and he's thinking, this is exactly what it's like when I ask a guy to get on the phone. They fart about forever and nothing happens. And so this is what is happening. Fortunately, I'm my own boss, so I can't get in trouble for this.
During your career, Benjamin, were you ever given any kind of formal sort of sales training, prospecting training per se, or you just learn?
Oh yeah, so I spent. Yeah, so I spent a lot of time with a really great guy called Marcus Kalki. I don't know if you've ever heard of him. He's a great sales trainer, and he now works in-house, or he's actually worked in-house for other companies, and he taught me a lot of what I know. And he did a lot of Sandler, so he was Sandler. And what that methodology introduced me to was the psychology, and that's that. And I'm upfront with people. If you picked any sales methodology, spin, if you pick Sandler, if you pick Dale Carnegie's, if you picked any one of them and just got really good at it, you'd do well. But the problem is salespeople don't like doing that. What they like doing is they love to read books about all different stuff, and all they want to do is just do bits that they like, but leave out the bits they don't. But it's often the bit you don't like that has all the value because it's the bit that forces you to change. So what Marcus showed me was the psychology was the most important, the getting out of your own way. So I spend more times reading books on psychology, on how not to feel things, how to react differently, and how you react under pressure is what makes the difference between a good and a bad salesperson. How you view yourself. Do you view your prospect as better than you, or do you see them as your equal? So everyone I'm phoning now, I don't care who they are, they're my equal, even on my worst day. Now, he can get annoyed with me, he can get upset with me, fair enough. But I can ask him a question. Can I ask you a question, sir? Is it just me, or are you like this with all salespeople? That's what I'll ask if anyone gets rude. Yeah, I don't have to take it. Yeah, and he can hang up. I don't mind, and this is it. I don't mind. And people say, a cold call isn't an interruption if you don't believe it's an interruption. What I know is this. Right now, someone on this list probably needs what I have. I don't know which one it is, but he's there. Now, if I find that person and they acknowledge I do need this, then this is probably the best call they're going to take all week. So that's how I view prospecting. And that's why I'm not fussed about, I've got to get 10 meetings this month. It's no. I've got to get 8 of the right meetings. And that's going to take probably maybe 80 conversations at the most, probably less.
And is there a particular, do you find in the UK there's a particular best time of day to call, or do you just do it when you feel like it?
First thing in the morning. I would say 8:30. This is now, again, COVID slightly changed things because people are at home. So 8:30 in the morning is somewhat maybe more of an intrusion if you get someone at home. But and when we go back to non-COVID, which we will, what I know is that I'm only ever trying to phone at MD CEO level anyway. They're usually the first people in the office, right? They're in there before the secretaries. They're in there before other people. So if you're phoning mid-companies, the odds are the person you want to talk to is going to be in there. They have if a phone's ringing, people have to answer it. And normally the guy at the top or the woman at the top, they know that every call could be a sale, so they'll always answer it. They don't know how important that call is. And what I would say is, look, you're going to hate me. It's 8:30 in the morning, and this is a sales call. And the number of MDs that would laugh and say, oh, it takes me back, when I first started because they appreciate get up early, make the calls, eat the frog. So I would just do 8:30 to 10 most days, Monday to Friday, 8:30 to 10, have my 4 conversations. You can have 4 before 9 a.m. Yeah, it could be brief, could be long. And I hit my 4, and then I'm free to do whatever I want for the rest of the day, guilt-free. But this is a problem with salespeople with no prospect. They don't hit whatever target they set, and then the next day they've got to do more. But then that weighs them down. Oh, I'm not going to get that many done. So then they do less, and by the end of the week they're well behind. They feel disheartened, disenfranchised. Then Monday comes along and they're even lower. It's self-defeating. So just do the bloody thing, get it out of the way, have your conversations, and then move on. Oh, something. Hello?
Hello?
Hello, is that Nicholas?
Speaking.
Hello, Nicholas. Look, I'll be up front. You're probably going to hate me. This is actually a prospecting telephone call. I'm not sure if you want to hang up now or maybe let me tell you what I fix in 30 seconds and then decide.
What's your business?
If I told you I was a sales trainer, you're going to hang up, aren't you?
Yes.
Yes. But can I ask, before you do, can I ask why? Is it because you don't have salespeople or you believe they're smashing target without help?
No, because we've already got somebody engaged to do something like that already.
And is that a fairly recent decision? Have I missed the boat?
Yep. Sorry.
I'll tell you what then.
For about 6 months.
6 months, okay. Oh, no, actually, no, you shouldn't need someone in 6 months if this person does their job well, right?
Anyway, so I don't think you can help us, but thanks for the call.
No problem. Last question. You don't know anyone not as fortunate as you that may need a sales trainer that you want to send me to?
If I did, I certainly wouldn't help them out.
Oh, you're a cold hard capitalist. I love it. All right, well, sir, I will let you go. But Nicholas, good luck with the trading. I hope it pays off.
No, good. No, thanks. Good. And good luck to yourself. Yeah.
All right, Nicholas.
All right. Bye-bye.
Cheers. Bye-bye. So there we go. That was fun, wasn't it?
That was. And, you got him to stay on the phone. You asked for a referral. I actually quite like his response. Why would I refer them to somebody else?
Exactly. Yeah. So that's a standard response when I ask for a referral. Why would I send you to a competitor? Well, that's a good question.
Fair enough.
Just to piss them off. So, and also what I found out was he's just engaged someone. I missed the boat.
Yeah. But maybe, call them back in 6 months' time. How's it going? Did they perform? Did it work?
Yeah, exactly. So that's fine.
Cool. I think you've got to push the green button.
So is this? Oh, I've got to press the green button. Sorry. Right, let's do that. Next call. Why aren't you moving?
Well, we got to add some notes.
It's not doing anything.
System, so
I don't know what it's doing.
Yes, you need to add notes. Just like core notes.
I need to what? Sorry?
Yeah, you have to scroll down and add notes.
I have to leave a note.
Yeah.
All right, I've got to leave a note. Interesting call back. Oh my goodness. Look at all these interest. I'll put that in then. Interest, that means nothing. Right, next call. Fine. Job done. Oh, that was easy. Okay, now I know what to do.
Got you. Yeah. So now the system's back piling through the numbers, and for everyone that's watching, awesome. Thank you for tuning in. A reminder: this is kindly sponsored by Connection Sale, Revenue Garage, Rev Genius, Revenue Grid, Cloud Task, and of course the Sales Borgs. And we are joined by Benjamin D, the UK's most hated sales trainer. If you don't know him, go and check it out. Check him out on YouTube and on LinkedIn. He knows his stuff.
Yeah. So it's funny because a lot of people say to me, if you use the opening line that I do, that people will hang up, but they never do. Only rarely. And I'm willing to take that because I know 90% of the time it works well. So I don't mind about the 10% that hang up. And this is what fascinates me about salespeople. They're scared of doing something, even if the chance of it happening is slim. It's like, well, why would you care? Why are you telling someone to hang up? Because they know it's a sales call. So I'd rather get rid of it quickly and move on to someone that wants to talk.
Yeah, I think you're right. And back to the psychology piece, if I go, back to my days in recruitment and cold calling, realizing that it wasn't a personal attack on you. They're human beings. They could have a wrong time of day, a bad day at the office. You just don't know. So if they give you grief, okay, so what? Move on.
You've got to, because you don't know what state of mind or mood you're going to get a prospect in. He could have just had the worst news in the world, and then you phone up. Yeah? And this is the thing I teach salespeople. This is the thing about being in sales. Most people are fine, but occasionally you meet someone that's having a really crappy day, and the moment they know that it's a sales call and they know you're selling to them, for a brief few seconds, they are no longer miserable because they found someone in a worse position than them. So they just let rip. Yeah, it's a chance to, my day's crap, but yours is even crapper. So I just got a dump on you. Yeah. So you just don't take it if you're a salesperson. You just go, look, sir, I get the feeling I've upset you. Would you like me to call back? I would never take a call from your company ever again. Well, we'll see.
Yeah.
And then you move on. You can't take this. You got to have a suit of armor when you're out there selling, and all they get is the armor. So this is why I wear the cap, and I don't have my braces on because I'm not wearing any pants. But if I was, I'd have braces on, and it's a uniform. Yeah, it's a physical uniform. And when I go out into the world, they get a piece of the uniform. When I come home, I take it off, and my wife says, "How was your day?" And I can say something like, "Well, I had a crap day selling, but I'm okay. I'm fine. Benjamin's all right." Yeah, the role takes a beating, but my identity doesn't. And too many salespeople merge their identity and their role together. And you shouldn't do that. You are not a salesperson. That's just a function. You're also all these other roles.
Yeah.
So don't worry if you have a bad day.
And in terms of working with your clients here in the UK, because obviously we're now back into pretty hardcore lockdown, how have they sort of switched to getting their teams to prospect from home to actually keep motivated, I guess, more so than anything, on top of everything else that that challenges the
well, let's be honest, most salespeople weren't motivated to prospect in the good times. Yeah. So let's not beat around the bush and make out that somehow COVID has made their life more challenging. It's exposed more. So I've had two conversations recently with two MDs. One said COVID's been great because he laid off 3 sales guys, saved them £120,000 in salary, and the same volume of sales are coming in. And he said, I realised they were order takers. What was I paying these people all this money to do when removed them from the business and it still came in? Another MD was saying to me, prior to COVID, the excuse was, we're on the road, we're too busy meeting with our customers to prospect. COVID shut that down, but guess what? The prospecting didn't go up. And so excuses that were once used cannot be used now, so they've created new ones. At the end of the day, prospecting sucks. Full stop. Let's not beat around the bush. I hate it, folks. But I'm good at it, and I don't mind doing it to have my 4 chats, and then I'll move on. But look, you don't have to like it. You've just got to do it. And as I say, stick with one company, do it for 3 years, and you'll never have to do it again.
Yeah, it's interesting times indeed. So how are we getting on? How many 95 dials, 58.
95. Well, I'm doing well. I'm going to grab my power lead because it seems we've gone on longer. So I just grabbed my lead. It's over here. Better plug in the old computer before she dies on me. Right. And I think I just turned my light off at the same time. What a numpty. We still don't have anyone to talk to, so...
Challenges of live TV.
This is live TV, yeah. Never work with children, animals, or sales trainers, folks. It's absolutely diabolical. Right, where are we? Sorry, well, it's not like anyone's missing anything. Not a lot's happening today, which is a shame. But worst case scenario, I don't mind doing another session, maybe with some US companies. It's got to be a good competition.
Yeah, or maybe we do a different time of day. Maybe it is the time. Where are we? We're 20 to 3 UK time. Maybe that's it. I don't know.
I don't know. I honestly don't know what the issue is. Well, there's a lot of chat coming up.
We're here. You're bringing. Can I say bringing value? I don't know. Oh, all right. You've stopped sharing your screen, but that's fine.
Well, I've stopped so I could see all these messages. I didn't know what you're putting up there if you wanted everyone to see it. So I don't think people need to see my screen. In fact, I need to see it, though. Yeah. Okay. Well, it's interesting. Yeah. We had one connection.
That's all right. That's fine.
All right. So what? Any other questions? I mean,
what's the
I might as well plug my...
What's the best prospecting call you've ever made?
What's the best?
Yeah.
What do you mean exactly?
Well, I don't know. In terms of, I'm trying to think. Well, I was just thinking on the fly in terms of the question, because as you said, prospects.
I can put you on the spot. A good prospecting call should establish several things, and I write about this all the time. If you get a prospect, you want them to recognize a particular symptom of a problem you fix. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the purpose of it isn't to phone up and vomit on somebody about who you are and what you do, because at the end, nobody cares about you or your business, and you're never going to engage a human being. People forget you're trying to engage a human being. So what I need to do is I need to put their problems at the forefront. So if I get to do my bit, I'll say something to the next CEO that answers. Look, you're probably frustrated that despite lockdown, your salespeople are still reluctant or not motivated to pick up the phone. Others, maybe you're doing that, but what worries you is the fact that when they do pick up the phone, they get fobbed off with excuses. They get asked to, say, send an email, or they just don't qualify. And finally, you're probably, maybe this doesn't apply to you, but you're probably maybe annoyed that when they do finally get an appointment, they tend to quote and hope they're perhaps kissing frogs, or they're discounting very quickly in order to win business. Now, you're probably going to tell me that you don't recognize any of those problems. Mm-hmm. I'm just looking for someone that says, I recognize one, some, or all of those. If they say, no, don't have any of that, I'm not going to get into a fight with them and say, well, you bloody should. What's wrong with you? You know, as a lot of sales folk do. I'll say, fair enough. And I'll kind of wind up the call. I'll say, well, one last question. I always have one. You'll notice on that last call that I probably said, can I ask one last question 2 or 3 times? And I do that to get one more and to get a little bit more information. If there was one thing, look, no sales team or process is perfect. If there was one thing you could fix, if you could eliminate, it would make your life better, what would it be? Oh, here we go.
Oh, hi.
Hello. Hello.
Oh, hi. You okay?
Oh, hello. Is that Simon?
It is, yes.
Simon, you're going to hate me. This is actually a telephone prospecting call. I'm not sure if you'd like to hang up now, or maybe let me have 30 seconds and then decide.
Yeah, probably hang up now, but thanks anyway.
Oh, no, go for it. Hang up. That's fine.
Bye.
All right, bye. See, I always wait for them to hang up. Some people don't hang up.
And then what do you do?
It was a training company. There we go. We're still dialing. Well, that was easy. Yeah. So I don't mind that.
Yeah.
I don't mind that at all. Some people say, well, you've lost an opportunity. You can't lose something you never had. And when you give someone the option of hanging up, it's quite possible because they're right in the middle of doing something. And I don't want to rush through anything. I want to have a proper conversation with this person. Because if they pick one of those pain symptoms, then we're going to have a bit more in depth. Because then I want to find out, can they give me an example of it? Are they able to tell me how long it's been going on? Have they done anything to fix it? Did that work? If it hasn't, how much do you think this has cost them? Because this is a business call. If there's no financial cost or time resource cost, they're probably not going to want to look at exploring further. And then then I always end up with, how does it make you feel knowing that this has happened and it's cost you X? How does that make you feel, sir? And if they say at this point, yeah, it kind of pisses me off, or it upsets me, or it annoys me, I'm in. That's it. All I say now is, okay, well, look, I don't know if I can fix this for you, but I've helped a lot of companies eliminate it. Let's pretend I could and you believed it. Is there any reason you wouldn't invite me in? And the
say no.
answer is usually no. It's very hard to say no at this point. That's all I want. And so each one of my calls typically follows that structure. If I don't get off the call and if I can't ask myself, what's his job title? What was the pain symptom? Could he give me an example? Then I know I haven't properly now I know with all that facts, this guy won't cancel on me because he's talked about him and his world only and what it's got. And then I know that meeting will take place. Because again, how many meetings are set that cancel? And if you badger or bully or cajole or push someone into a meeting or beg, as soon as they hang up, they think, oh, fuck that.
Yeah, indeed.
And they ghost you.
They indeed. And watching you on your YouTube channel, you religiously stick to that script or that process. Yes.
It never changes. And salespeople, they don't get this. Why is a surgeon good at what they do? Why is a lawyer good at what they do? Why is Tiger Woods good at what you do? And I say, because I do the same bloody thing over and over and over and over again really well.
Yeah.
Yeah? A surgeon, I know every cut, every incision, the depth, the width, the length, the time. And I know if this happens, I do this. If that happens, I do this. Well, why don't you get creative and change it? Well, because it works. And all I got to do is get good. And this is why I say stop reading all those ruddy sales books. Pick one and master it. And you'll be fine. Yeah. But salespeople won't do that.
But do you think that's the fault of salespeople or the fault of management or a combination of both?
Well, if I wanted to be kind, I could blame management. But at the end of the day, who's responsible for your life and your success?
Yep. Me.
That's the answer right there. You're looking at it in the mirror. Yeah. So you cannot, we're not, as much as Jeremy Corbyn of the Labour Party would like us to be socialists, we're not. It's your responsibility to pull yourself up and make yourself a success. And if a company won't invest in you, then you invest in yourself. If a company won't let you invest in yourself, you find somewhere else. Yeah. Or you get out. So no, I'm quite harsh like that. You have to invest in you. Yes. There's that virgin saying, isn't it? What happens if I invest in my people and they leave? And then there's, well, what if you don't invest in them? They say, I get that. So it's a symbiotic. There are two. It's an employer's benefit to have trained, well-working people. Yes, but it's also the responsibility of a salesperson to want to get better. And because most people in sales don't want to be there, there's the rub. If you don't really want to be there, why would you actually spend any real energy or effort trying to master it?
Yeah, no, I agree. And I go back to my recruitment days that some hires, they just weren't cut out for it. And it wasn't, again, a slight on them in terms of them as people. It's just like, this isn't your gig. Go and try something else.
Yes, and that's it. And if salespeople would just be honest, if most of them would admit, I don't really want to be doing this for a living, then fine. As a manager, I'd say, great, I don't need to worry about you ever hitting the target then. It doesn't bother me because I know you're sitting here waiting for the lottery to come in. So this is why when I work with companies, I say, look, if you're going to get me in, get the people to pay towards it. Because if they're not willing to pay towards their own training, then why would you invest in them? There's a difference between someone who has desire to get better and someone who has a commitment. Most people desire to be better. Most people desire to lose weight, but very few are committed to doing what it takes. And commitment hurts. It's discipline. It's sacrifice. It means changing how you view yourself and what you do. That's uncomfortable. That's slow. It's not fast. I don't want any of that. I just want some quick, trite answer on how to get around this objection. Doesn't work that way.
The problem with the
wow, so two calls.
All right.
Two calls so far.
Instant gratification. That's the challenge, I guess, in this modern world that we.
It is, and that is the problem. I mean, Gary Sinek was it? He said you got people who join a company and within a year they're despondent. They say because they haven't done it, haven't changed the world. They haven't been here a ruddy year. What the hell's wrong with you? But again, we've created a culture where everything's got to be instant. I mean, look, it takes 7 years to qualify as a doctor, and then you're a junior, and then you do your residency, and then you specialise. It takes 4 years to qualify as a barrister, then you do your articles, then you're a junior. To become a sales professional takes 3 days product knowledge training, a suit, a CRM system, and you are one. No, you're not.
No, you're not.
So this is one of the challenges. Oh, this is good. If I could prospect like this all the time, actually, I like this.
Well, talking to me at the same time.
Talking to you for an hour with 2 calls in between. But this actually, if you're watching, this is reflective of the modern sales office, because this is probably, if you're an MD, you're probably looking out at the office if they're in, and this is what's happening. They make a call, they chat for 5 minutes in between, they fart about with the CRM system, then they make another dial. Oh, this doesn't work. Oh, an hour in, 13 calls later. Oh, well, I've done my bit today.
Yeah, the leads are bad. Gary,
Oh dear. Well, we've only got 10 more minutes of this, folks, and then you don't have to watch me talking to Alex.
Yeah, certainly don't.
I tell you what, why don't we agree to meet, and at least they get something.
Yeah, is that okay? Yeah. Here's a purchase order for $1 million. Come and trade me out.
Yeah, it is. It's cool. Well, it looks like I am losing the competition. I will be the only person, I think, with 0 points on the board. But I tell you what, it's how we got there, and we got there with a lot of fun, and I think that's all that matters.
Exactly.
But no, maybe we'll have to do this another day. Phone the US. I don't mind doing an evening one, staying up a bit later and phoning America.
I think your accent would catch a few of the US off guard.
Oh yeah, they'll say what part of the country you're from. Yeah, I'm to people in North America. I sound slightly English. To people back home, I sound English, but over here I sound like an Antipodean. So it doesn't matter where I go now. I always sound foreign. Put it that way.
Yeah.
But to sound English is better because it's a much cooler accent. Sounds cooler. I like that.
Allegedly.
Yeah, it's like an evolution.
So Ben, do you want to?
8 minutes.
Should we do a role play? Do you want to kind of call me per se, and then we'll go through the script? Why not?
Fine, we'll go through what I would typically do, and then at least they can hear what would happen if we got through to a real human being. Yeah. So okay, so the phone rings and you'll answer, and you'll say whatever you say. So ring ring.
Hello.
Oh no, is that Alex?
Speaking.
Alex, look, I'll be up front. You're going to hate me. This is actually a prospecting call. Would you like to hang up now, or let me have 30 seconds and then decide?
Well, seeing as I used to be a salesman, I'll give you the extra 30 seconds, but it better be good.
Oh, well, let's see. So, Alex, look, I typically work with successful managing directors such as yourself, but often, if they're honest, they'll admit that sales is perhaps a bit of a bottleneck to growth. This may not be the case here, but maybe you're frustrated. You've got sales guys that, despite lockdown, are still reluctant or not motivated to pick up the phone, despite there being no excuses. Maybe your biggest concern is not so much that. They do it, but they're terrible. They don't qualify, or they just easily get fobbed off with send me an email. And finally, one of the biggest things that most MDs moan to me about is what really annoys them is the fact that when they do get in front of someone, they're too quick to discount. They tend to do a lot of quoting and hoping, and it's hitting the bottom line. Now, you're probably going to tell me you don't recognize any of that, I'm guessing.
I recognise some of it, but it's not something I necessarily see as a massive issue, or certainly not what my sales director tells me.
No, so it doesn't sound like it's an issue then, by the sound of it.
I wouldn't say there's not an issue, but things could always be better. But the numbers seem to be doing okay. So I'm not really sure what extra kind of value you could bring to the table for me.
Okay. Look, I've had my 30 seconds. Can I talk maybe for 30 more?
Yeah, go on.
When you say the numbers are bearing out, what does that mean?
Well, we'll certainly seem to be getting the meetings, and I guess the conversion rate could be better. But prospecting is about getting meetings, and then it's up to the sales team to do the rest. And the numbers are okay in terms of what we're hitting in terms of revenue. But yeah, okay, we could be getting more conversion.
Okay, so it sounds like all right, fair enough. Well, it sounds like everything's perfect then, and then even if you could do something different that may be better, you're not at that stage. It sounds like it's not a problem by the sound of it.
Well, nothing's perfect. So if you're going to pin me down on it, then I would want better first meetings, I guess.
Okay. And when you went back to your guys and said, why aren't we getting better qualified meetings? What did they say out of interest?
that they tell me it's the leads aren't good enough, or I book the meeting, but then the meeting gets cancelled, or I'm an ex-salesperson, you're a salesperson. You know the excuses.
Fair enough. Can I ask a blunt question?
Of course.
Do you believe those excuses are valid?
Probably not.
Sorry?
Probably not.
So can I ask another horrible question? If you hang up, I'll understand.
Yep.
Why do you accept them then?
Because I guess at the moment, where we are in the current, climate, that it's okay. But if I'm blunt with myself, it could be better.
Right. Well, look, I'll be honest with you. I could maybe help you, but it sounds to me like you're not at the point where you'd want to do anything different. Would that be fair?
I'm always open to ideas, and you've kept me on the call for longer than 30 seconds. So what do you believe you could bring?
Well, I don't know enough about you or your guys yet, but I've worked with a lot of companies, and the MDs have said exactly what you've said. They don't believe the excuses, but they also feel a bit of empathy for the guys because of the situation they're in. But I've helped eliminate this for not everybody. I'll be honest, some people are beyond redemption, but I've helped a lot of companies fix this. Look, let's pretend I could. I'm not saying I can, but let's pretend I could and you believed it. Is there any reason you wouldn't invite me in to explore that further over Zoom? Obviously not invite me in.
Yeah, and I'd like to bring my sales director along, but for the sake of an extra, however long it is, 20 minutes, half an hour, in this current climate, what's the worst that could happen?
Well, the worst that can happen is you realize you need me and you realize it's going to cost you a lot of money. That's the worst that could happen. The best is we figure out you don't need any help.
That sounds good to me, Benjamin.
All right. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da.
No.
So let me ask you, so let's take out of that. Did you notice, and even in role play, it fascinates me, every time I tried to get you to bugger off, push you away, you kept swinging back. Did you notice that?
Yep.
It's a human condition. So what I do is if someone has a problem, I constantly deny it's a problem, and it forces them to fight for it. And as they're fighting for it, they're starting to convince themselves. So you went for that, it's not an issue, it could be better. And then I just keep challenging, it doesn't sound like it's, well, it could be better. Well, I don't know. And I just keep gently pushing you away from me, as opposed to pulling you towards me, because I pull you towards me, your instant reaction is to pull back. And this is why salespeople, Scott, my job is to push you away.
And I think also what you do is what I was always taught is pause. You didn't then follow when you asked a question. You didn't then panic when there was a pause while I was thinking, which others then they try and fill the gap. You'd let me reflect and then came back.
Yes. And I listened, and my questions were predicated on what you said. So there's no set. Salespeople are obsessed. They have these questions written out in front. Got to ask. No, this is a conversation. I know the likely answers that you could give to any question. I know the range. Mm-hmm. And I also know the range of answers I can have in response to that range. So I listen, and this is my job is to listen to you the whole time. And when I hear you say, the numbers are all right, I challenge it. Well, when you say the numbers are all right, what do you mean? And now I want you to say, well, they could be. Now you're starting to create a problem.
Yep.
So that's all I do. And
And it comes back to what you were saying earlier, Benjamin, around you don't read sales books, you read psychology books to, understand people. Understand people. That is our job. And all I got to do is drop in some pains, have you say you've got one, and then deny it exists, and you fight for it. It's what makes selling so easy. You've just got to get people to acknowledge they have a problem and then deny they have one. And all they do is fight for why they have it. And the more they're fighting for it, the more it moves from intellect to emotion. And if they get a bit of emotion, there's a good chance they may do more with you. Make it sound so simple.
It is that simple. It's just very hard to do for a salesperson because they're so driven by trying to convince somebody of something. Selling isn't the art of convincing, it is the art of letting them discover they need what you have. And that's why, you see those signs, if you discover a fire, it's not like if you're convinced there's a fire. If you discover a fire, you scream it from the rooftops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So discovering something is more important than convincing. And there's a great phrase, I think Mark Twain said it. A man convinced against his will is of the same opinion still. So if you convince someone to meet with you and in the moment they just give in and say, all right, fine, you can have your 20 minutes.
Yeah.
The moment that pressure's gone, the intellect bit of the brain kicks in and says, why did I agree to that? And you go, well, I don't want to do it. So they ghost you. So I never want that to happen to me. I want to know that a meeting in the diary, unless there's some third-party intervening act, that's the only reason it cancels. It's not because they got cold feet.
Yeah.
Wow, we're at our time, and unfortunately we only had three. Was it three or two? Three, two.
Two connects, I think. So we can go
well,
on.
I think we may have. I think we should set up, because I've got another call, unfortunately, a scheduled call which hasn't cancelled at half an hour's time. But what we could do is, because this has been so bad, and I don't want people to feel like I'm trying to cop it. Well, I've got 0 points anyway, so I don't mind doing this again.
Yep, likewise.
Yeah, scheduling another time. Yeah.
Likewise. String, what should we...
That's up to the organisers.
Yeah, it seems like there's a lot of interest to do another round. So let's keep posted, because Benjamin, I want to see you more in action. Just a personal note, because I giggled in some of the way you do calls. It's like, it's 2 a.m. for me, but you made me giggle.
I made you giggle. That is the key to a successful salesman. Make people giggle. Yeah, so folks watching at home, sorry it wasn't that exciting, but if the organisers let it, we'll set up another time, and I can maybe phone America, which is more open for business, perhaps.
More fun, maybe. Brilliant. All right. Well, Benjamin, thank you. Absolute pleasure to meet you properly now, rather than see you in the virtual.
Same here, Alex.
And thank you to Revenue Garage, Rev Genius, Connect and Sell, Revenue Grid, Cloud Task, and of course the Salesborgs for making this all happen. And we will make this happen again. But for everybody tuning in, we will see you on the flip side. String, are we still live?
Are we allowed to swear profusely now, or is it still live? Actually, no, it doesn't matter. It's not regulated. We can swear or whatever. But no, we're still live according to my screen.